Hello and welcome to My Gorram Project, my personal video project for this year. Info is in the description. I don't know why I decided to introduce this video with Goku, but I'm sticking with it. I'm very worried about waking up my housemate, so I'm going to try and be as loud as I normally am, but if I'm a bit quieter, that's the reason. It's 1:30 in the morning here. So Australia Day is come and gone, in and amongst a torrent of rain, but hey. And I was really touched when I was catching the bus through the city, because I saw some people that were wearing the flag through the rain on our country's special day to celebrate pride in their nation. But there are other folks who use Australia Day as an umbrella for many things, such as racism and just general ignorance. I hate to rock the boat, but I have some questions that I really want to be answered about Australia Day. Also a note, this video is about a serious issue, so it is exempt from the 5-minute rule. So my first question is, why are you proud to be an Australian? I actually don't understand this statement. George Carlin said it best when he said that being proud gives off the idea of achievement. Your being a part of this country is more than likely an accident of birth. There's nothing to be proud about. Unless, of course, you've had to deal with being an immigrant to this country and having to apply for a citizenship. If you've been successful at that, as far as I'm concerned, you deserve a fucking medal. Another question is, why do we insist on having Australia Day be on the 26th of January? This is a particularly interesting question because through this question we find out how much people actually know about history. For example, did you know that we didn't actually officially celebrate Australia Day as a country until 1818, even though the country was founded under King George in 1788? But the main reason I'm asking this is a lot of people call Australia Day Invasion Day. This is because when the British came with the first fleet and named the country in the name of King George, there was a long process of pretty much screwing over the Aboriginal community. So much that they not only call it Invasion Day, but they also call it Survival Day. Because they're actually so proud that the Aboriginal people managed to last so long under the British invasion. But listing all the ways that Aboriginal people were mistreated is way too long to list in a single video. But there's a lot of other reasons to change the day. For example, January 26th, when Australia Day takes place, is on school holidays, so it's very hard for kids to learn about the holiday from an unbiased point of view. And there's the obvious connections to our convict past. Like basically the first fleet were a bunch of convicts and people looking after them so that they could bake there as punishment for stealing bread or whatever else. What is the reason that we're keeping it on the 26th? Are we trying to stand tall and be proud of our roots and look back at the past with lessons learned, or is it something deeper? Why is there national food to eat on Australia Day? So there's ads going around right now that say you should eat lamb. If you don't eat lamb, you're un-Australian. And I have no idea where this idea came from. When I think of Australia Day, I've been trained to think of an overweight man in an apron pushing lamb on the barbecue. My questions are, why is it lamb of all things, and why is it on a barbecue? I have to assume that the obvious answers are people like the sunshine, it's summer, and they like cooking lamb because it tastes nice. But when you actually think about it, it sounds vaguely like you're sacrificing an animal to the god of Australia.
Eat this, cook it like this. Eat with your hands or you are un-Australian. All praise the Lamb of God.
See what I did there? And on that note, what the heck is un-Australian? If you've grown up here like I have, you've probably heard the words mateship, loyalty, and determination thrown around like a doobie at a reggae concert. And I want to know if any other countries have national qualities like this, whether the French are hot-blooded, and Jamaicans are laid back or something. And also, if Australia means mateship, loyalty, and determination, un-Australian therefore means that the people that don't necessarily agree with your point of view are therefore scummy, deserting cowards? Or because I don't like cooking lamb on the barbie? Mr. Australian stereotype, sir. I brought some steak. Is that suitable? No, fuck off, you Sheila, and get me some more lamb. Lamb! I hate how they say lamb. Really, I just hate how they pronounce anything with an A. Lamb! Sounds like a faulty electric motor. And finally, the big one. Why is Australia synonymous with racism in many hearts and minds? At least where I live, there are two camps. People who think that Australia Day is a pointless exercise in racism and binge drinking, and the other camp who believe that the people who are not respecting Australia Day are a disgrace to the country for not doing so. Now, we're no strangers to racism being tied to Australia Day. Every year, if you decide to go out in Australia, I guarantee there'll be some idiot wearing a flag going, Australia's fucking full! But I personally think that that doesn't necessarily mean that the celebration of the event is pointless. For me, I think that the idea of the routine is actually quite cool. It's actually nice to have an excuse to sit back and just think about how awesome it is to live in a country like this, where you can propose to a crowd and go, you know what, I think Australia Day is a crock of shit. And people might agree with you and people might disagree with you, but the point is that you are able to say it. So many people do not get that benefit. And all the other things, clean water, good food, everything's available to us. We have cars, we're not overpopulated. And we're not the only country to do it either. Most countries have an International Day, and I'd be interested to know if there's any people overseas that have these same sort of problems as well. Like, if I happen to have any Americans watching, do you have a bit more racist problems when you're dealing with things like Independence Day? Please feel free to answer any and all questions that I have put forward in the comments, and I will see you guys on Wednesday.